The Andean condor is the largest raptor in the world and the largest flying bird in South America. It flies majestically over the mountains and valleys of the Andes. This bird of prey and its close cousin, the California condor, are part of the New World vultures, a group of birds more closely related to storks than to the vultures of Africa. Andean condors are the only New World vultures to show sexual dimorphism. Males are usually larger than females and have a distinctive comb on top of their head, as well as a large neck wattle and yellow eyes. The females lack the comb and have red eyes. The males keep the comb all their life, which makes it easy to tell the sex of an Andean condor chick as soon as it hatches. As adults, both sexes have black plumage with white secondary feathers and white neck ruffles. Juveniles have brown plumage and skin and don't develop their adult coloring until they are about 6 years old. These impressive birds live in the highest peaks of the Andes. They nest in rocky crags and soar over open grasslands and lowland desert regions. When not scanning the landscape for a meal, the birds may roost in small groups, often stretching their enormous wings to catch some sun or preening. Andean condors used to range in large numbers from the highlands of northern South America to the tip of Tierra del Fuego in the south. They tend to stay away from human disturbance, causing their range decrease dramatically. Today, Andean condors are most often seen in Peru, Chile, and Argentina, although a reintroduction program is taking place in Colombia to find their food. Andean condors use their excellent eyesight and can spot a meal from high up in the air. They also look for clues to their next meal, such as other raptors gathering in one area on the ground or circling in the sky. Condors can glide over large areas while using little energy. These huge birds are too heavy to fly without help. They use warm air currents, thermals, to help them gain altitude and soar through the sky. By gliding from thermal to thermal, a condor may need to flap its wings only once every hour. When a condor stretches out its wings, the wing feathers look like outstretched fingertips. These fingertips let the condor make fine adjustments in flight, like wing flaps on an airplane. Like all vultures, Andean condors are scavengers and find most of their food after it is already dead. This lifestyle isn't for everyone, but it does have certain advantages. The food can't fight back. Like most other vultures, condors have a featherless head. This keeps the head from getting too messy while buried in a carcass. Condors have a high resistance to harmful bacteria, and their curved beak is good for tearing rotting flesh. But as strong and impressive as an Andean condor's beak looks, it is not as strong as the beaks of other birds of prey. After a condor eats, it rubs its head and neck back and forth across the ground to get all the crumbs off. These birds can consume more than 15 pounds, 6.8 kilograms, of meat at one time, and may not be able to fly after such a large meal. Healthy adult condors have no natural predators and are vigilant when protecting their egg or chick. Humans have become non-natural predators. Ranchers poison livestock carcasses to ward off mountain lions and foxes. The poisoned carcasses kill the condors, too. The male Andean condor uses quite a display to attract his mate. He spreads his wings, clicks his tongue and hisses, and his neck turns yellow. If the female is impressed, the two find an appropriate nesting spot, usually in a shallow cave on a cliff ledge. The female lays a single egg, which the parents take turns incubating. Once the chick hatches, both parents are responsible for its care for over a year, well after the chick has fledged at 6 months. The young condor spends this time learning how to be a condor from its parents, everything from how to catch a thermal to what to eat and how to find it. Not until the condor is about 6 years old does it molt the brown feathers of its suit and grow the black and white plumage of an adult. Having an Andean condor at the San Diego Zoo in 1929 seems rather remarkable for the times. He was named Bum, and he was quite a character. Bum had been hand-raised as a youngster in a zoo in Germany, so he was used to people and even liked to play with them. But since he had a large wingspan and a sharp beak, the humans had to watch their step. Bum's favorite person was wildlife care specialist Carl Ring. When Carl came by, Bum hopped over to say hello. The two also had a favorite game in which Carl would lie down flat on his back so Bum could hop up to stand on his chest, wings spread. Bum was soon paired with a young female from South America named Cleo. She was not nearly as friendly as Bum and Hist and charged at the wildlife care specialists, but Cleo and Bum got along famously. In July 1942, a male chick named Guaya was hatched and raised in his zoo habitat, believed to be the first Andean condor hatched in managed care in the United States. The world's first incubator hatched Andean condor hatched in May 1950. There were more exciting moments as the zoo continued to hatch and raise Andean condors, leading to a successful reintroduction program for the birds. The male Andean condor is a black bird with grayish-white wing feathers, a white fringe of feathers around the neck, and a bare red or pinkish head, neck, and crop. Males have a large caruncle, or fleshy protuberance, on the forehead and top of the beak, and turkey-like neck wattles. The species ranges throughout the Andes Mountains of South America, frequenting open country and feeding on carcasses. When hunting for prey, the Andean condor soars on thermals, warm-up drafts that rise from the land below, and upslope winds to remain aloft and can glide for more than 160 kilometers, 100 miles, without flapping its wings. In Peru and Chile it descends to the Pacific coast, where it feeds on dead marine animals such as seals and fish. Andean condors are rare in northern South America but still relatively common in the southern part of their range. About 6,700 adult Andean condors remain, and the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources has classified the species as near threatened. They breed every other year unless the hatchling dies, in which case the pair breeds again the following year. The young are raised on remote ledges and in caves at altitudes above 3,000 meters, 10,000 feet, using no nesting material. The white egg measures about 12 centimeters, 4.5 inches, long. Adult California condors are mostly black, with bold white wing linings and a bare red to orange head, neck, and crop. Young birds have a dark head that gradually becomes red as they near adulthood at about 6 years of age. They forage in open country and feed exclusively on carrion. California condors nest in cliffs, under large rocks, or in other natural cavities, including holes in redwood trees. They generally breed every other year, laying a single unmarked greenish-white egg measuring about 11 centimeters, 4 inches, long. Although most California condors reproduce sexually, some female birds have been able to reproduce asexually through parthenogenesis. In 2021, researchers reported that 2 captive female birds produced chicks that hatched from unfertilized eggs. The California condor is critically endangered. By 1982, only 20 remained in the wild, and efforts were made to establish a captive breeding flock in zoos. Because of excessive mortality from lead poisoning and shooting, the wild population continued to decline, and in 1987 the last free-flying survivor was trapped and taken into protective captivity. The first successful captive breeding occurred in 1988, and numerous captive progeny were released to the wild beginning in 1992. These conservation efforts enabled the total California condor population to reach 289 by mid-2006, including 138 wild birds in southern and central California, northern Arizona, and northern Baja California, Mexico. In 2002, the first egg to be laid in the wild by captive-raised condors hatched, and by mid-2010 44 adults had produced viable offspring in the wild.